Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and hi if you're new. So in today's video, I will be sharing some of the little tips and tricks I've added to my journaling routine in 2025. You'll see me sketching, painting, and writing. So I usually tear a small piece from my sketchbook and stick it into my journal. It is something I've started doing to make each page feel a bit more intentional, like a space I can shape freely. It might look simple, but this habit has become more than just a creative outlet. Over time, it has helped me stay grounded, slow down my thoughts, and be a little more mindful, especially on days when things feel a bit too much. So as I take you through my process, I will also talk about how journaling, even in small ways, can actually help with overthinking and mental clarity. I was actually a little confused as what to sketch, and this process takes me a little time to get my inspiration as I brainstorm the ideas for my sketching or painting that will actually align with my thoughts in the process of journaling. So as I go through my journaling process, just let me make it clear that this isn't just a feel-good story. It is something you can start doing today. I have been writing diaries since I was around 8 years old. I still have them. My memory box, it's filled with old journals, messy handwriting, glitter pens, all of it. All these journals are part of my life. Each one is a story that now when I look back and recall the events that I forgot, I'm like, I did that and this happened. I just enjoy it and feels like an accomplishment. So it started out as a habit, but over the years, journaling became something more, a safe space, a reset button, and eventually a kind of therapy. Here's how journaling actually works when you do it right. Not pretty, not aesthetic, just real. So first things first, you need to go through everything that is in your head. Write it down, and I mean exactly the way it is happening in your mind. If you're frustrated, just write it down exactly the way it is in your head. Use curse words if you have to. Emotionally invest in writing. Don't just move your pen. What this process does is that it gives you a medium to vent. And you don't have to be polite when you do it. You don't need to make sense. As I said, curse words, written letters, everything is allowed. You're not writing to impress anyone, you're writing to release. Psychologists say that when you vent on paper, you're doing what is called emotional unloading. You move thoughts from your short-term memory to an external space, freeing up room to think clearly. Once it is out, your brain stops spinning in circles. For me, personally, it uncoiled a ball of fire in my head. It is like my brain just took a clean shower. Everything that had been pent up began to unload. And once you're done writing and you read back what you wrote, the problem feels smaller. You begin to realize, oh, maybe it's not that deep. So I started journaling more seriously when my small business took off. I used to sell journal supplies online and it was going great. But behind the scenes, I was cutting 50 pieces per order, packaging for hours, sometimes sleeping at 3 a.m. just to meet deadlines. I will link down my Zara store as a proof in the description, and you will see how much of those journal supplies got sold. And I'm not saying that I quit, all I'm saying is that I shifted my priorities. So yeah, the earnings were okay, but something felt wrong. I was not resting. I was not even eating properly, and the peace I thought the money would give, it was seriously not there. So, well, I do not intend to discourage anyone. I just want to show you the side of online earning no one talks about. As I said earlier, mental health, sleep, proper meals, they're luxuries you don't value until they're gone. That is when sketching in my journal started helping me. By sketching, I don't mean creating masterpieces, I mean doodling, shading, making art in my journal, even while watching K-dramas or listening to a podcast. And well, some of you might think that this sketching or maybe this whole painting I drew is a little bit complicated, but you can do anything. Even if you're not good at sketching or painting, you can literally just doodle. Just move your pen and, whatever that is in your mind through a drawing, just bring it to life. And which is what, for me, it started the healing. Because when I finished a sketch and I would look at it, there was this rush of, I made this, and suddenly The frustration was replaced with something beautiful. That's why I journal with sketching now. I recently got into scrapbooking and junk journaling too. The cutting, sticking, layering, as I showed you in the beginning of this video, it feels like creating order from chaos. It is slow, mindful, and pulls me back into the present moment. And by the way, this little ritual I've created of sketching and journaling together, I was thinking of giving it a name. Should I call it sketch journal or journalette? Honestly, I feel like sketch journal is perfect, but let me know in the comments. I would love your input. So in 2025, I started journaling in a way that made a huge difference. It's not something I do every day, but when I do, it works wonders. Here's how I break it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, I call it the highlight moment. I write about one good thing that happened, even if it's small. And I write it like it's a scene from a novel. It might sound cliche, but it helps me feel like the main character. It's like I'm Monica from Friends walking through my own series episode. That feeling, it shifts your entire mood. For me, it made me think that my life is not ordinary, it is dramatic. Now, step 2. This step is a future movement plus affirmation. This part cultivates mindfulness, which is what makes it the most important step. It improves clarity and strengthens emotional focus. So in this step, I write about something I want to do, even if it's something like make pasta or it could be self-care. What this does is that it gives direction. First, it anchors your attention. You're taking scattered thoughts and giving them direction. Writing about a meaningful task, even something as small as cooking, it focuses your mind on one intention, which is the core of mindfulness, being fully present with one thought or activity. Second, it accepts the present, including affirmations like, even if it doesn't work out, I will the next time, promotes non-judgmental acceptance, which is a key part of mindfulness. It reduces pressure and keeps you rooted in the now instead of stressing about outcomes. And third, it helps in creating mental clarity, setting a goal, writing about it clearly, and visualizing it with intention clears mental fog. That clarity improves emotional regulation and helps you focus better. Fourth, it redirects negative thought patterns. The act of turning your focus to something positive or productive disrupts overthinking loops. This shift isn't just delusional positivity, it is how neuroplasticity works. You're literally rewiring your brain to focus on progress instead of panic. And according to 2 psychologists, Edwin Locke and Gary Latham, they call this step goal setting theory. They showed that writing down specific goals greatly enhances focus and performance. By putting your intentions on paper, I will cook dinner tonight rather than I should cook more, you give your brain a clear target to work toward, which cuts through mental clutter. I also write the little things that will make my everyday better, because time will pass either way, so choosing to spend it well despite the chaos is a luxury. Yes, that's a code now, you can save it. Now the final step, which I call the problem and response. This step goes back to the frustrations I dumped earlier. If there is a solution, I write it down, and if there isn't, I write something like a positive note, something that resonates with, okay, it is hard, but it won't affect me the way I think it will. Now, I know this might sound really unrealistic, maybe even delusional to some of you, but what I'm really doing is feeding my brain a new narrative. And according to psychology, that is exactly how belief systems are rewired, through repetition and self-talk. This technique aligns closely with cognitive behavioral therapy. It is one of the most researched and evidence-based approaches in psychology. And according to Aaron Beck, the founder of CBT, our thoughts shape our feelings and behaviors, and by challenging and restructuring unhelpful thoughts, we can change how we respond to difficult situations. And more specifically, cognitive restructuring, a core CBT technique, involves identifying irrational or exaggerated thoughts and consciously replacing them with more realistic, balanced ones. Exactly like you're doing when you write, okay, it is hard, but it won't affect me the way I think it will. Also, neuroscience supports this too. Studies show that repetition of positive self-talk creates new neural pathways, a concept called neuroplasticity. Over time, your brain begins to accept these thoughts as your default belief system. You can rearrange these steps however you want, but these steps, if you follow these steps while you journal, your journaling will really help you. It will become practical and something real. It won't just be like dumping writing on journaling. It will become therapeutic and you will enjoy the process of writing it. So yeah, that's how journaling in 2025 changed everything for me, from social anxiety and burnout to feeling like I can breathe again. And just for clarity, I'm not a psychologist. Everything I shared in this video came from personal experience. Sketching and journaling gave me the courage to post my first ever voiceover video, the last one I uploaded, because journaling made me realize that social anxiety, it is just an illusion. A pattern in the brain, one that can be broken. And if you have seen my short videos, you will see how chaotic most of them are with loud music and so much editing. While there are a few shots, and very few that reflects my personality, I would say slow, light music and overall giving calm vibes. And here my journal is complete. You can see the painting, the sketching, and I hope you really enjoyed the whole process of this, and I hope it will help you out. So if you've watched till the end, thank you. Let me know in the comments if you're a journaler, a sketcher, or both, and what your practice looks like. And if you're starting today, welcome. This might just be the thing that changes everything for you too.